Well, we're back at it for a Monday, and forgive me, I got a little bit of a nasal thing going on today. Oh boy, I was sick most of the weekend, so I'm going to bring you into the freshly decontaminated beach house beach bunker. Just ignore the Kleenexes on the floor. Hit with cold number 2 this year. God. So I was kind of in a cold-induced coma all weekend. What did I miss? Anything important? Why can't I buy Jack Daniels anymore? I was thinking I wanted to have a Sunday afternoon shot of JD. It's all gone. Of course, I'm kidding. Humor is good. No, yes, we're going to have some fun this morning. We are going to talk about the serious issues of the day, of course, as lighthearted as we possibly can. It is a tough situation. There's no two ways about it. Of course, you know I'm talking about the T word. Tyler's cold. I hope you had a good weekend. I was under the covers basically all weekend. Seriously, though, I managed to get out and get some Special Olympics donuts, which was really kind of the highlight of my weekend. Hopefully, I didn't give anybody my cold while I was at Tim Hortons on the weekend. I hope you had a great weekend. It was not the greatest weather weekend. We do have some kids not in school today, but it's like an in-service day or something going on today. In-service, is it parent-teacher day, professional development day? However, Mountain View School Division and Swan Valley Divisions, all buses are canceled because there's snow drifts and plugged rural roads. All Mountain View School Division and Swan Valley schools will be open, though. So that drifting was brutal. Absolutely brutal. I'm looking at the Manitoba 511 map this morning, and it's showing the roads are generally in decent shape south of Riding Mountain National Park. Let me show you what I'm looking at here. They look to be in decent shape, but it's a stupid wind, and it's especially in open areas. Hey, as soon as you get into an open area, that's where you get the ground drifting, and it's like, ugh. Can get really crazy at times. And where the dotted lines are, that's visibility problems. So watch for some visibility issues south of the Trans-Canada Highway this morning, north of the Trans-Canada Highway. Visibility issues mainly along the Saskatchewan border around Binscarth, Birtle, Minneota, and still, again, up north of Riding Mountain Park. Not good, Tim, on the roads this morning. So if you do have to hit the road, please give yourself plenty of extra time to get to where you're going today. The stupid wind with some light snow flurries is what's causing us these problems this morning. Let's take a look outside, see how things are shaping up for this Monday. We've got some light snow flurries and minus 24 degrees with the wind chill, minus 37, although it says Beach Bunker feels like minus 42. Are you kidding me? Oh, we need the beach. It's too cold. Ay, ay, ay. Professional Development Day. Okay, so this is how things are looking, and we have some snow there stateside, and we could see some more snow make its way towards us. And again, stupid winds gusting at times to 50K could cause some driving issues today, but that's going to clear out tonight, and we get an overnight low of around minus 30, and then Tuesday, mix of sun and cloud, minus 18. The rest of your week is cold. Daytime highs, minus 15. Overnight lows, around minus 25. There's your week's weather. The groundhog said, some groundhogs said early spring. Others said 6 more weeks of winter. However, it was interesting that it was cloudy in Winnipeg for their groundhog. So they said early spring for Winnipeg. However, in Brandon, there wasn't a cloud in the sky. Had we had a groundhog out there, that whole see the shadow thing, he would have saw a shadow. That would have meant 6 more weeks of winter. But it's the capital that has the override. Is that we have to go with Winnipeg? We have to go with the Winnipeg groundhog. Is there a groundhog override rule? I don't know. Taking a look at our temperature map this morning across North America, it is chilly right in the middle of the continent. She is cold. And here's our wind chill map this morning. There we go. We've got a lot to get to this morning. I want to get your thoughts on what is happening, of course, with weekend events. Before we continue any further, we're going to do just a quick good morning roundup here and a quick yesterday's good thing, and then we're going to get into discussion involving how much Canadian can one person buy? 100%. And where we go from here and how this is going to affect us and how you're feeling about this whole thing. Trump and Trudeau are going to talk by phone today. They have not talked since Trump was inaugurated. So no congratulations, no nothing like that. It was all done on social media. So it'll be the first time that these two will talk by phone today. I would love to. I'd love to do it the old-fashioned way with the party line. Okay, listen, Justin. Yeah, listen here, Donald. And then there'd be me. Hey, guys, are you just about wrapped up on this call? I got to get a pizza. Are you guys just about done? Can you wrap it up? Remember party lines? I think that they probably have a secure line. I think it'll be a secure line. Anyway, they're going to talk today. So the tariffs are not supposed to go into effect until tomorrow. So really, if you want to be hopeful, of which I am, the window is closing, but the tariffs are not in effect yet. It's supposed to be tomorrow. And just something worth noting. He was like, oh, they're coming on February 1st. February 1st, we're going to hit them. We're going to hit them February 1st. February 1st, he signs it, but says, oh, okay, they're coming next week. Just keeps pushing the date. So, I don't know. Maybe the date will get pushed again. Who knows? But people are already changing their shopping habits. They are buying Canadian. Liquor stores have removed U.S. booze from store shelves. And it's going to be an unprecedented time for not just our two countries, but the entire planet. I mean, the EU is responding this morning saying, okay, you're going to do that to us? And he says, oh, yeah, I'm coming for you guys next. It's like, this is not good. Not good, Tim. Not good. Not good. Anyway, we will see who we've got to say good morning to real quickly on our platforms this morning. Again, we are pretty much everywhere on hour one, including TikTok, X, YouTube, Facebook. We're going to move to Twitch for hour two. If there's any developing news through the show involving Trump and Trudeau, we'll be sure to bounce in here and bring that to you live, of course, because we are live for 2 hours each and every weekday. And, you know, I'm very lucky that I didn't get sick during the week. I've been very lucky Again, this is the back end. Man, did I sleep a lot this weekend. MJ's here with Tosh this morning on Twitch and Road Reverend. Good morning to you. Jody's here too, along with Zumba Bernice, who's here on Twitch. Good morning. Angela Damaris is here on Facebook. Happy Monday, Janine. Good to see you. Stephen on TikTok, good morning to you. Polar Bear is here on Twitch. Richard is here on Facebook. Quentin's here on Twitch as well to say good morning. Boiled Bean is here too. Sharon Walters on Facebook. Hi, Sharon. Hope you had a nice weekend. Patricia Ann Heffron. Let's have a great Monday. Let's make it a great Monday. You know who's not having a great Monday? Taylor Swift. Grammy Awards last night. She walked away with none. What? Yeah, it was Beyonce's night. Wow. Beyonce walked away with the hardware and Taylor Swift had none. That's incredible. What is going on? Nick Adams is here on Facebook. Molly is here too. Richard says, hope you feel better soon, Tyler. Thanks, pal. I'm on the mend. I think I'm on the back end of it. Sorry to hear you're under the weather. Oh, thanks, Cindy. 4-day weekend for the clones, says Quentin. Patricia says PD day today. Professional development. Newdale to Menidosa to Brandon is good as far as roads are concerned. That's awesome. Again, just watching those open areas for some ground drifting. Roland Finley on Facebook. Holy cow. Mandy on TikTok. Good morning. Oh, Roland, how are you? Trev says, Trev Webb, good morning on Twitch. Are you kidding? The poor groundhog would come out and run back in and burrow even deeper, closer to the corner of the earth. Yeah, these groundhogs, I don't get them. I don't get it. I'm surprised that PETA has not shut this down. Seriously. It's one thing to have Groundhog Day in June, but these poor little guys. Oh, I'm so cold. I want to go back in my little house. Borbeen says, hubby had to get up and clear a pathway for me. Quentin doesn't trust the groundhogs. Nick says, whichever says early spring, I'm in for. Yeah, no kidding. Let's just go with that. Although there was not a cloud in the sky in Brandon, I would venture to say we have a safe bet that we're going to get 6 more weeks of winter. I think we're pretty much in for it. Tracy Roger is here on Twitch. Good morning. Hope you feel better. Thank you. Well, I got the coffee rolling. I got the Advil sinus and cold, and I was way worse on the weekend. I'm trying to watch the events of the world unfold, and my eyes are all watery, and I'm high on cold meds. And meantime, I've had a couple shots of tequila with my cold meds. Probably not a good combination. Now that I say it out loud, probably wasn't a smart idea. Probably didn't slow down the progression of my recovery, but kids, never mix your meds with alcohol. That's not a good idea. Richard says, let's boycott America. Oh, that's the thing. You know what this reminds me of? Canadian bacon. You guys are too young to remember the 1990 comedic classic starring John Candy and Alan Alda called Canadian Bacon. We will look at that today. Canadian bacon. KDD 4380 is here. Debbie is here this morning as well on Facebook. Ryan, good morning, and says, yo, Kendrick Lamar. Nick says, well, there's always the Taylor Bowl next week. The Super Bowl. No kidding. Sunday. Super Bowl Sunday. Quentin says, World War Trump. Nick says, that's probably the best way to watch the news. Canadian bacon is actually trending on Prime. Really? I don't doubt it. I remember watching that movie thinking to myself, that could, I don't know. Maybe someday we could see that happening. I don't know. Yesterday's good thing. Never seen the movie. We'll introduce you to it this morning on the show. Good thing you're here. Good. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. It's so good to be with you. I know things are stressful. Things are a little chaotic right now, but you can rest assured your buddy Ty is here to keep you in the loop and keep things calm and in perspective. Okay, we're okay. We're going to be okay. Everything will be fine. Everything's going to be just fine. How do I know that? Well, because it has to be. It has to be. It will be. We had lots of good things, I'm sure, happen over the weekend. Mine was my Tim Hortons donut for Special Olympics. Did you get it? Did you have a chance to go and get one? Oh, they're so delicious. Thank you to all those who dropped by to get your Special Olympics donut at Tim Hortons. It was, there were a lot of them going out the door when I went there. And we are going to take that money, of course, and help support those who are taking part in Special Olympics competitions and representing the good old red and white. All of a sudden, getting the biggest infusion of Canadian pride I have ever seen in my life. Unbelievable. I am just standing back. I'm in awe. I'm in awe of all the patriotism. 6 months ago, it'd be, why are you so patriotic? Why are you being so red and white? What's so special? Oh. It's only the Americans that do that. They act, they're so proud to be American. Oh, that's so stupid. Canadians are so reserved. We just sit back. We're just proud quietly. Not anymore. The polar bear is awake. The polar bear has awakened. Molly's GT from yesterday. I listened to all my friends' sets, played some games, played a whole bunch of GTA, did some cleanup. Boy, you had a busy weekend this weekend. Good for you. That's awesome. Nick says, speaking of the Super Bowl, be sure to find me on Facebook for my exclusive predictions. Are you promoting content on my platform, Nick Adams? Well, what's going on? You have to share it with us. We'll put it on the show. Okay, we'll find you. When are you going to do that? Thursday or Friday? Obviously before the big game. Sharon says, GT, we celebrated my dad's 75th yesterday. Oh, yeah, that gets a bell. That gets a winner's bell. And his really good friend flew out from BC to spend the weekend. Oh, that is so cool. That's fantastic. That sounds awesome. That's a good thing. Nick says the Special O Donuts were the highlight of my weekend as well. Mavis says that, good morning to everyone. Sharon says, so got to see my dad's good friend, probably been 25 years. Well, that's great. Quentin kicked back and had nothing going on. Most relaxing weekend in months. Oh, that was like me being in my little coma. Yeah, not much going on, not much getting done. Hey, now at Tim Hortons, now that we have done these Special Olympics donuts, guess what starts today? The $1 Donut Days. $1 for a classic donut with a hot or cold beverage with our friends at Tim Hortons. Tim Hortons of Westman, an area with 10 locations to serve you in Brandon, Virden, Dauphin, Neepawa, and Moosomin. $1 classic donut when you order any hot brewed coffee. The iconic duo got just more iconic. Get a classic donut for $1 when you order any size original or dark roast coffee. Now, choose from the apple fritter, which is always the best. Boston cream, honey cruller. Is it honey cruller or cruller? Old-fashioned plain chocolate dip and vanilla dip. At Tim Hortons, Westman and area, Brandon, Virden, Neepawa, Dauphin, and Moosomin. At Headley's Health Hut, we are getting ready for Win Back Wednesday. That's a week from Wednesday. It's the second Wednesday of every month at Headley's Health Hut. And by now, I hope that you've had the chance to check out their new location at 1314 Richmond Avenue, just up from Murray GM. Western Manitoba's top selection of vitamins, herbs, local products, sugar-free, gluten-free snacks. Joe's gluten-free? Oh, yeah, he's Canadian. He's from Saskatchewan. Big guy. Big, super popular. Super popular gluten-free goodies from cookies to pierogies. You know who's also doing the gluten-free in the store? Ida's Catering. She has got ready-to-eat meals that are gluten-free and come in all kinds of varieties for you. And Win Back Wednesdays is when you can win back up to $500 in receipts. That'll be happening on February 12th, just in time for Valentine's Day. Check it out, Headley's Health Hut at 1314 Richmond Avenue. And Co-ops of Westman, we've been saying this since day one on this show. If you want to buy Canadian, Co-op is not just Canadian. Co-op is not just Manitoban. Co-op is what we call around these parts hyperlocal. Co-op is owned by the people who shop there, by the members. So you can go into your co-op knowing that you are giving the ultimate support to your community. The ultimate support. So if you are on a mission to make your pantry Canadian, to make your refrigerator Canadian, Co-ops of Westman is the place to go. Heritage Co-op, Pembina Consumers Co-op, Twin Valley, Valley View, Boundary, and Hamiota Co-op too. Sponsors on the show. Thank you so much. Okay. Boral Bean says, where was that prime minister all these years? What a speech, eh? Yep, I was thinking the same thing. Brilliant speech. This guy has been in hiding, but he's also a drama teacher. He's a very good actor. And you know what? I'm not going to come across, I don't want to be perceived as anti-Canadian at this moment in time, because God knows it's, you know what's, this reminds me of COVID a little bit. We're going to have the mask wearers and those who are the, shame on you. And it makes me sick to my stomach. I can't do the whole COVID thing again. I just can't do it. Guys, I just can't. I can't do it. It's too much. And what's keeping me going is I think that, again, I still believe 2025 is going to be a great year. We knew there was going to be bumps in the road. We knew that things were going to be a bit tough, and they're going to be a bit tough, but we're going to get through it. And everyone will have their way of dealing with it, and everyone will have their way of supporting the cause, and everyone will have their way of supporting those close to them, and this is not the end of the world. Good God. You put the media on right now, and this is really some wild stuff going on, according to them. And make no mistake, it's very serious. But we have got to enjoy things that we have while we have them, regardless of what's going on around us. Anyway. Tosh says, GT spent some excellent quality time with family and took in the Y. I got to do that. I need a swim. And I don't think cutting a hole in the ice down at the river, especially in light of my cold, would do me any good. Or maybe it would. Maybe it'd shock the cold right out of me. Holy crap, polar plunge. Polar plunge. Nick's counting down the days for Roll Up the Rim. Richard, I like Richard's. Yummy donuts. Yummy donuts. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Roll Up the Rim. Although they do it digitally now, don't they do it digitally? Molly says, yeah. All right, so, okay, we got everybody promoting their shows on my show, which is fantastic. Why not? Great. Fantastic. Okay, I think we got yesterday's good thing done. Time to bore you with some of my stuff, and, yeah. We will talk a little bit about the matters at hand. And so I didn't really think that this was, I think we'll start here. I thought that this was not very classy at the hockey game, Red Wings and Canucks, but it happened. It did, and they're singing the anthem. I thought they booed through the whole thing, but they didn't. They just booed at the end. And apparently this happened at a Toronto Raptors game too. I'm wondering if what the leagues are going to do about this. Like, are you going to knock the anthem off? What's going to happen here? I mean, it's going to be very interesting to see how sports deals with this in light of what is happening. And It's awful. Make no mistake. What is going on right now is a very, very sad thing. It is a very sad thing. I will likely lose my business. The audio division of my company will likely go under. I'm going to be possibly a little bit cranky. I apologize. But it's disappointing that this had to happen. You know, I came across a video of Ronald Reagan talking about free trade. And it's ironic because this was like right after Brian Mulroney, our prime minister in the 80s, got elected. Have a listen to this. Have a look at this. This couldn't be said any better. Listen to this guy. This is Ronald Reagan.
Fellow Americans, this week as we prepared for Thanksgiving, Canada held an important election, and I'm pleased to again send my congratulations to Prime Minister Mulroney. One of the important issues in the Canadian election was trade, and like our own citizens earlier this month, our neighbors have sent a strong message rejecting protectionism and reaffirming that more trade, not less, is the wave of the future. Here in America, as we reflect on the many things we have to be grateful for, we should take a moment to recognize that one of the key factors behind our nation's great prosperity is the open trade policy that allows the American people to freely exchange goods and services with free people around the world. The freedom to trade is not a new issue for America. In 1776, our founding fathers signed the Declaration of Independence, charging the British with a number of offenses, among them, and I quote, cutting off our trade with all parts of the world, end quote. And that same year, a Scottish economist named Adam Smith launched another revolution with a book entitled The Wealth of Nations, which exposed for all time the folly of protectionism. Over the past 200 years, not only has the argument against tariffs and trade barriers won nearly universal agreement among economists, but it has also proven itself in the real world, where we have seen free trading nations prosper while protectionist countries fall behind. America's most recent experiment with protectionism was a disaster for the working men and women of this country. When Congress passed the Smoot-Hawley tariff in 1930, we were told that it would protect America from foreign competition and save jobs in this country. The same line we hear today. The actual result was the Great Depression, the worst economic catastrophe in our history.
Do you think that he's listening to this? Boy, I sure miss Reagan. So the last time they did this brought on the Great Depression. So
1 out of 4 Americans were thrown out of work. 2 years later, when I cast my first ballot for president, I voted for Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who opposed protectionism and called for the repeal of that disastrous tariff. Ever since that time, the American people have stayed true to our heritage by rejecting the siren song of protectionism. In recent years, the trade deficit led some misguided politicians to call for protectionism, warning that otherwise we would lose jobs. But they were wrong again. In fact, the United States not only didn't lose jobs, we created more jobs than all the countries of Western Europe, Canada, and Japan combined. The record is clear that when America's total trade has increased, American jobs have also increased. And when our total trade has declined, so have the number of jobs. Part of the difficulty in accepting the good news about trade is in our words. We too often talk about trade while using the vocabulary of war. In war, for one side to win, the other must lose. But commerce is not warfare. Trade is an economic alliance that benefits both countries. There are no losers, only winners, and trade helps strengthen the free world. Yet today, protectionism is being used by some American politicians as a cheap form of nationalism, a fig leaf for those unwilling to maintain America's military strength and who lack the resolve to stand up to real enemies, countries that would use violence against us or our allies. Our peaceful trading partners are not our enemies. They are our allies. We should beware of the demagogues who are ready to declare a trade war against our friends, weakening our economy, on national security and the entire free world, all while cynically waving the American flag. The expansion of the international economy is not a foreign invasion. It is an American triumph, one we worked hard to achieve and something central to our vision of a peaceful and prosperous world of freedom. After the Second World War, America led the way to dismantle trade barriers and create a world trading system that set the stage for decades of unparalleled economic growth. And in 1 week, when important multilateral trade talks are held in Montreal, we will be in the forefront of efforts to improve this system. We want to open more markets for our products, to see to it that all nations play by the rules, and to seek improvement in such areas as dispute resolution and agriculture. We also want to bring the benefits of free trade to new areas, including services, investment, and the protection of intellectual property. Our negotiators will be working hard for all of us. Yes, back in 1776, our founding fathers believed that free trade was worth fighting for, and we can celebrate their victory, because today, trade is at the core of the alliance that secure the peace and guarantee our freedom. It is the source of our prosperity.
He never missed a beat.
And the path to an even brighter future for America. Until next week, thanks for listening, and God bless you.
Yippee-ki-yay, Cowboy Ronald. Yeah, less than 5 minutes sums up why this is such a sad thing. Because it is not good for anybody. This is not good for anybody. And instead, we've got Canadian bacon. And if you've never seen Canadian bacon, well, we will show you a little bit of it coming up after our first beach break. We'll take a beach break, and we'll be back with more in just a second. Happy Monday, Sunseekers. Happy Monday. Beach break. Back with more in just a sec.
It's a Monday, feeling fine. Sun is up, sky so blue. Let's tackle this, me and you. Good morning, good morning. Sun seekers, yeah, we're coming. Let's go. Good morning, good morning. We got fitness, yeah, we're running. New week, new chance. Move your feet, start to dance. Move it. Feel the beat, feel the light. Together we can reach new heights. Good morning, good morning. Sun seekers, yeah, we're coming. Let's go. Good morning, good morning. We got fitness, yeah, we're running. Oh, the day's just begun. Let's have some fun. Chase the sun. Oh yeah, oh yeah. With every step, rise above. Life's a game. Let's show our love. Good morning, good morning. Sun seekers, yeah, we're coming. Let's go. Good morning, good morning. We got fitness, yeah, we're running. Oh yeah. Oh, the day's just begun. Let's have some fun.
Soggy Dollar at the British Virgin Islands. Let's get outside and take a look at our road situation. Again, we've got a professional development day happening today. And so we've got a few teachers and students that won't be in school today. And that's probably not a bad thing considering that we've got some ground drifting issues this morning. And we've got a couple school divisions that won't be running their buses. Mountain View School Division and Swan Valley School Division. All buses are canceled due to snow drifts and plugged rural roads. All Mountain View School Division and Swan Valley schools will be open, however. Okay? All right. Manitoba 511 is saying visibility issues as far as blowing snow is concerned, mainly isolated to highways south of the Trans-Canada Highway and highways that are close to the Saskatchewan border. Other than that, though, things are generally pretty good, but again, these winds are expected to whip up again today with some light snow and wind gusts at times to 50 and a high of minus 20. Right now, we're at minus 25 with the wind chill. Feels like minus 42. How delightful. How wonderful. Yeah, here's the wind chill this morning. As we get back to the matter at hand, the big war going on. War, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Everyone is being urged to buy Canadian through the tariff war. What's Canadians up to?
See what Canadian consumers are saying, or better yet, how they're shopping.
I noticed I think I got more produce from Mexico than from the States.
With produce, I immediately look at the country that it's coming from.
People milling about doing their Sunday shopping saying it's important to keep their Canadian dollar circulating in our economy.
We all have to be more conscious about where our country's going with this kind of stuff, because it's getting really concerning.
Renewed calls to buy local come as Prime Minister Justin Trudeau encourages Canadians to check their labels and to choose products made in this country. But as Dylan Lobo, the founder of nonprofit Made in Canada, explains, this isn't the first time the U.S. has waged this kind of warfare against our country.
We were first originally established in 2018 when Trump first threatened tariffs. And at that point in time, we thought it was pretty unfair. So we started compiling a list of products and services made in Canada.
Experts say the best way to deal with tariffs is to buy local.
This includes everything from locally made products to fruits, vegetables, and even your meats and your dairy. So this is really going to create a situation where consumers are doing the country a favor if you buy local products.
Lobo says the easiest way to do that is to know the difference between a Made in Canada label versus a label that says Product of Canada.
Made in Canada is at least 51% of Canadian content is made in Canada. The manufacturing was done in Canada. The last transformative action was done in Canada, but the materials could have been brought from overseas. And the Product of Canada essentially means the materials were mostly from Canada and it was manufactured in Canada. The product is essentially more Canadian.
In the long term, experts say not only will we see everything go up in price, but a long-standing relationship is now fraught.
And an important part of globalization is the trust and the certainty that you can have. So, when you and I have some relationships, the fact that we can trust each other, that we'll be treating each other fairly and with respect, is something that is instrumental to this relationship.
Lobo says this should be a wake-up call for Canada to invest in a strong manufacturing base to then create a more resilient economy.
I look at it as more of a mindset change, because if we can change our mindset now, I do think we can have a stronger Canada maybe in 10 or 15 years, and we might not be as beholden to the U.S. or other countries by then.
To check out a full list
I won't even be around in 10 or 15 years, so I won't be able to see that glorious day. But, I couldn't afford oranges anyway. So, it's not going to change my world a whole bunch. I don't know. I guess we can get apples from BC, right? I mean, I'm just not big on fruit. I don't know. Jody says shop Mexican products, not China and Canada. I think avocados, you can only get them from Mexico, right? Yes? No? Zumba Bernice says we're so happy to let go of January, but February is starting off even crappier. Well, yes, it is. But what can we do? What can we do? We can't control it. From food to booze, toilet paper, and motorcycles. I've got a complete list of stuff that Canada is targeting. Look at this. Our booze, their booze. Look at this. So one of the questions that was asked last week before we ended the show was, am I going to be able to go shopping in the south of the border and bring some stuff back? The quick answer to that is no. But. So if you did want to go and do that, expect to be paying a 25% tariff. So if you, and just for the sake of argument, I'm not saying you should or shouldn't. You're an adult. You're a free-willed person. But if you're going to go do that, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense under this circumstance. You see what I'm saying? I mean, if you go and you say to yourself, okay, I'm going to go have a day trip and I'm going to buy $200 worth of groceries. Well, the minute you pull up to the Canadian side of the border, they're going to hit you with $50 of tariff, because that's what the trade war is. Not to mention that the price of American goods are going to go up. So things that you once thought were cheap down there are not going to be so cheap anymore, because it is going to affect their prices too. It's a mess. It's just a mess. And it's not going to be fun. Jody, you know what? We need more manufacturers in our country. How long have we been saying that for? How long? Hey, I am 51 years old. And you know what? We have been saying that forever. And the thing is that there just has not been the environment in Canada is not a business-friendly country to operate in. It just isn't. And now we're paying the price for that. You know, we need to, going forward, encourage business. We need to make an environment where businesses want to open here, where businesses want to grow and thrive and hire people and make stuff. But that has not been the focus. That is just, regrettably, it hasn't been. And we've been sounding the alarm for years and years and years, and especially recently with our recent prime minister, because it just has not been a priority. The priority the only manufacturing he wanted to do was electric car batteries. And he didn't want to sell any oil, and he didn't want to sell any energy, and everything was going to be windmills and flowers and things like that. And we found ourselves in a tough situation. So make no mistake. You know, Trump has done this. I'm not saying that he hasn't. I'm just saying he has done this at a pretty brutal time for us. This is an awful time for us. I mean, we just had the prime minister resign, and I think that's part of the problem. I mean, if you went into a car dealership and you're dealing with Fred, okay? You're at the car dealership and you just heard, yeah, it's Fred's last day at the car dealership, and you're like, oh, I think he was selling me a car. Yeah, I think I'm selling you a car. I guess. I think I can give you a good deal. And you're like, why do I feel uneasy dealing with Fred all of a sudden? Because I want to buy this car from Fred, but Fred in a week is not going to work here anymore. And that's like Justin. It's like, it's just a mess. An absolute, it's sad from so many different angles. And we are incredibly vulnerable right now. Very vulnerable. Because we don't have a mandated leader in power. It's Justin who says, I quit. So I fear that this could go on probably, I'm hoping, not very long. I'm hoping that once a new leader comes in, that's when we can kind of get things back on track.
Daddy Arrow.
I don't know. I just wish we had the election before Christmas when we had a new prime minister. We'd be on solid footing then. You know what I mean? And Trump would be dealing with people that he knows are going to be here for the next 4 years at the same time he's in office. But this is not the first time that the thought of a potential war with Canada has entered the vernacular. No, in the mid-90s, there was a movie called Canadian Bacon. And regrettably, it started at a hockey game. A president was falling in the polls, and he said, you know what? I need something to help get my polls up a little bit. Let's maybe invade Canada. Have a look at this.
Have you seen the polls? You know, it's not fair. I mean, every other president had all of the Russians to blame for everything. What have I got?
For an unpopular president,
the voters felt that your being alive or dead had no real bearing on their daily lives.
it's time to give war a chance.
Dad.
What are we going to do for an enemy now?
A riot between Americans and Canadians broke out last night.
Now, with a little inspiration,
All I said was Canadian beer sucked.
Give me 1 week and I'll have Americans burning maple leaves.
they'll create a cause worth fighting for.
Is Canadian Prime Minister Clark MacDonald a member of a satanic cult?
Oh, that is stunning.
Canadians are always dreaming up ways to ruin our lives. The metric system, for the love of John.
Captain Kirk of the USS Enterprise. Canadian.
Do not panic. I'm in complete control.
Welcome to Canada.
I'm your worst nightmare.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We got ways of making you pronounce the letter O.
What we have here is a brave but misguided group of Americans who've gone right into Canada and kicked some serious Canadian butt.
Oh, Americans. Welcome to Ontario. Sportsman's paradise. Isn't it, though?
John Candy.
There's a time to think, and there's a time to act. And this, gentleman, is no time to think.
Alan Alda.
Surrender pronto, or we'll level Toronto.
Rhea Perlman.
I'm in Canuck Central.
Kevin Pollak.
And when have you ever heard anyone say, honey, let's stay in and order some Canadian food?
And Rip Torn.
I can't kill America's neighbors.
I can.
From Michael Moore, director of Roger and Me.
I think it's time we put the America back in North America.
Canadian Bacon. The invasion is coming.
I gotta go. Didn't I tell you to go before the invasion?
That was the invasion. Couple guys in a truck with some guns. Yeah, good old John Candy. John Candy played an American in that movie, and he's Canadian. That's just, the whole movie is riddled with Canadians. It's very funny, and again, it is trending on Prime right now because people want a little bit of humor, and keeping in mind that this is one guy doing this, not 400 million people. Okay, and there have been lots of pop culture moments in time where we've had some fun with the Canadian-American relationship. South Park, the parents of South Park were very concerned because they were seeing a lot of content coming in from Canada. It had swearing in it. It had bad words.
Out of control. This is what happens when toilet humor is allowed to run
Oh,
rampant.
yes.
That's right. Kenny set himself on fire because he saw Terrence and Phillip do it in that dirty movie.
Terrence and Phillip, the Canadian duo.
To our children's ears. We must go fight the source of it. But what is the source? Oh, that's easy. Times have changed. Our kids are getting worse. They won't obey their parents. They just want to fart and curse. Should we blame the government or blame society?
Or should we blame the images on TV?
No, blame Canada! Blame Canada! With all their beady little eyes and flapping heads are full of lies. Blame Canada! Blame Canada! We need to form a full assault! It's Canada's fault!
It's Canada's fault.
Blame me for my son Stan. He saw the darn cartoon and now he's off to join the clan. And my boy Eric once had my picture on his shelf. But now when I see him, he tells me to fuck myself. Well, blame Canada! Blame Canada! It seems that everything's gone wrong since Canada came along. Blame Canada!
Mothers Against Canada.
They're not even a real country anyway.
My son could have been a doctor or a lawyer, rich and true. Instead, he burned up like a piggy on a barbecue.
Should we blame the matches? Should we blame the fire? Or the doctors who allowed it to expire?
Heck no! Blame Canada! Blame Canada! With all the hockey hung of below. And that bitch on Murray, too.
Oh, my God. Oh, come on. Oh.
The trash bin smash, the left and fun must all be undone. We must win them and cause a fuss before somebody thinks of blaming us.
Mothers Against Canada? Oh, my God. South Park. Blame Canada. That's, that is one of many pop culture references to, the tension that can sometimes develop between our two countries. Oh, boy. Yeah, you got to laugh, though. We got to have some comedy in it. We got to have some comedy, and that's where things like Canadian bacon and South Park can help out a little bit. The one thing that you won't be able to do, though, is buy U.S. liquor. No, U.S. liquor is already gone from store shelves in most provinces. And so your Jack Daniels, your Jim Beam, Crown Royal, though, made in Manitoba, Crown Royal. Oh, that's good stuff.
Bottles of Kentucky bourbon and Tennessee whiskey are whisked from BC store shelves days before the U.S. tariffs hit.
It's sad. It's a sad state. Our two countries rely on each other. Our economies were interlinked after generations of building together. And it's sad to see that we're here today.
Manitoba liquor marts will pull American products by Tuesday.
This means that we are going to be taking $80 million out of the U.S. economy.
In Ontario, the LCBO is scrubbing American products from its catalog. American distillers say bans in multiple provinces will affect more than $1 billion in cross-border booze trade.
In the Canadian and the American distilled spirits industry has thrived together without tariffs and without trade barriers. And we need to muscle through this. It's going to hurt, but hopefully cooler heads will prevail with our governments.
Some economists warn fighting the U.S. tariffs tit for tat is a losing battle.
And for the mouse to attack the 2-ton elephant and say we're going to get in there and beat them up and knock the 2-ton elephant out it's just preposterous. And so we're going to lose.
This Vancouver bar manager says they'll be making old fashions in a new way, substituting BC spirits for American ones.
It feels kind of like we're caught in a schoolyard fight and a little childish and disappointing, and we're just hoping that this kind of gets resolved quickly.
For provinces still stocking U.S. alcohol when tariffs kick in on Tuesday, expect those prices to climb.
Oh, well. And you know what? When Trump, here's the last thing I'm going to say. When Trump said that this is not negotiable, I don't believe that. I think that there are two things that he wants, but he doesn't want to deal with Justin Trudeau on them. There's two things. Watch what happens here. He wants us to hit our 2%, at least 2%, if not more, GDP on defense spending. We're at 1.3. The Canadian military has been in trouble for a long time because it has been underfunded. How are we supposed to live up to our NATO obligations when our own politicians are not investing? It's all great to pull booze off the shelves, but if we aren't investing in our own men and women who are ready to defend this country, then do we have a country? We need to belly up with that, and I think that's going to be one of the asks. And the other ask is going to be renegotiating the whole NAFTA, USMCA. He wants Canadian dairy, and he wants Canadian poultry. These are heavily protected areas of ag. They have been for decades, mainly in Quebec, but I think that's what he really wants. That's what he wants. He wants a level playing field for milk and poultry and the defense spending to go up. And I think that if he can get somebody to negotiate with him on that, then we can go back to the way things were. I may be Pollyanna, but I just think he hates Justin Trudeau. He's not going to deal with him. I'd love to be proven wrong on that, but I mean, up until a month ago, most Canadians didn't like Justin Trudeau. So, I mean, I know he's our leader and everything, but I mean, he does not like the man. He does not like the man. He feels he's a backstabber and two-face, and Justin, I'm sure, feels worse about Donald. These two guys negotiating anything, I don't know how far they're going to get. It's wild. It's crazy. But I think that's what we're going to be. So Cindy says, so if they took it off the shelf and did what with it? Staff drinking in the back room? I guess they send it back. I guess they could probably send it back. I mean, as long as it's sealed. Janine says, my question is, haven't they already paid for that inventory before now? Blow it out cheap, at least make some of your money back. They'll probably send it back. I don't know what that would cost. I don't know. I will ask the next time I'm at the liquor store. It's going to be a pissing contest between the two of them, Zuma Bernice says. Well, and like that economist said, we're a mouse going up against the elephant. It just is what it is. It is what it is. We need to figure out what it is, and we need to get somebody who can talk to the man and reason with the man and say, what is it that you want? He doesn't want to take over Canada. It can't happen. There's too many Democrats up here. Are you kidding? That's the ace in the hole. So if anybody's worried about that, you can just take a deep breath. It's not going to happen. Oh, he'd love our resources and everything like that. Oh, for sure. All our beautiful water and minerals and things like that. Too many. The Republicans would never see power again if they took over Canada. It's crazy. Well, on this fentanyl thing, there's a lot of conspiracy theories floating around from everything from the trucking industry to all kinds of stuff with this fentanyl. And I fear that the media is not telling us what's going on. That's a big fear of mine. I just want to know what's going on. And I don't think the media is talking about the fentanyl issue in an honest way. You know what I'm saying? But I think that it's going to come to light real soon. Leon's Furniture Superstore. Oh, there's a good Canadian company. Save the tax. Save the tax continues even on sale prices. If you're looking for furniture, appliances, electronics on select furniture, mattresses, and three-piece major appliance packages, there's still a few days left to save the tax at Leon's, 3635 Victoria Avenue in Brandon, also at leons.ca. And, of course, other than the taxes and the fees, take 2 years to pay with 0% interest and 24 equal monthly payments. OAC on your FlexiCard. Minimum purchase $250 excluding taxes. Taxes and fees are due at the time of purchase. See leons.ca for more details or visit them at 3635 Victoria Avenue. If you are looking for a set of wheels, my gosh, Westman's #1 EV dealership is Murray GM in Brandon, your premier destination for your electric vehicle needs in Westman. They've got the people and the products to take care of you. With EV options including Equinox, Blazer, Silverado, and Hummer, it's the flexibility to find the fit for your lifestyle. And huge savings as well. At Westman's #1 EV dealership, Murray GM in Brandon, bring your questions regarding government incentives and all the potential savings and things like battery life and so on. You're going to want to take those questions over to the great crew at Murray's. Again, they're at 1500 Richmond Avenue in Brandon, putting you in charge. And the Elkhorn Resort Clarkson Nordic Spa at beautiful Clear Lake. February is here, and they have got a slew of great events happening at the Elkhorn Resort. Go to elkhornresort.mb.ca. Take a look at their calendar of events. There's going to be something there that is going to be fun for you and your family. They've got packages for you to take in the Clarkson Spa, maybe a little bit of a swim, enjoy the hotel up there. It is an absolutely fantastic facility and a great place to get away from it all, relax and unwind, and enjoy beautiful Riding Mountain National Park. All kinds of entertainment at Buffalo Bar. They have wall-to-wall live entertainment each and every weekend at the Elkhorn Resort. And again, as we get into February, we'll have more details on some of the fun stuff that they've got planned for the month of love, month of February. And again, maybe a honeymooner's package might be good for Valentine's Day. Check it out at elkhornresort.mb.ca. We have to say goodbye to our friends on Facebook, TikTok, X, and YouTube. We have to move on over. VIP Hour is on Twitch. We again will break in with any breaking news as far as Trump and Trudeau are concerned. They're supposed to be talking via telephone today, and we're going to see what they had to say to each other, get some details on that, maybe before the show is through. In the meantime, we're moving over to Twitch exclusively, okay? Thank you, YouTube.